Hello, you all. Welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, what's good? If you are new, hey boo, I am back with another video. And so we are just gonna hop straight into it, and y'all see the title. Let me just say happy Monday to y'all. And hopefully I have a lovely, productive, prosperous week so far. Y'all hear them birds chirping, and if y'all hear some noise in the background, that's street work. I like the sound of street work in the morning. It's just something about hearing the world move, the start of the week, street noises and all that. It make you want to be in a productive mode. And so with that being said, we're just gonna hop straight into this video, and y'all see the title. And you being yourself triggers their demons. And this is a message that has been on my spirit for a nice little minute, and actually I feel like this is important to say because in these day and ages, everybody trying to be like somebody else. Nobody is really embracing their authenticity. They're not comfortable being themselves anymore, just based off of social media. And social media has pushed this whole narrative that you can be anybody. You know what I'm saying? You can pretend to be anybody. You can be somebody else. You can copy this person. You can embody their individuality. You can, because when you get comfortable with watching people too much, you will start to pick up their mannerism. You will get yourself talking like them, thinking like them. It's just crazy out here these days. Being yourself is rare. Being yourself is really the key. Is really the tea to living a prosperous life, to living a peaceful life. The majority is trying to be like everyone else. And so when you being yourself, and I know I'm not the only one that could be thinking like this, but do you feel like being your authentic self, you stick out like a sore thumb? You are looked at as being odd, different, weird for being your real, true, authentic self. Okay? People have a problem with that these days. When you are not out here trying to be like everybody else, you are going to become a threat to people. You are going to trigger people's demons because you are not trying to be like others. And a lot of y'all have had this issue with people to where you being yourself just rub them the wrong way. Okay? It's not too many people that are original anymore. When you look around, you just see the same thing over and over again. It's like a replica of everything. Replica look, replica mindset, replica, you know. It's just like, no, and it's scary because it's just like you will rarely come across people these days where they have thoughts and opinions of their own. You know how you ever had a conversation, and this is so crazy because when I was on Facebook, before I even had my YouTube channel, I would talk about things like this. You know, I always had people giving me feedback and chiming in on my posts. But I used to always say this back then. You know how you having a conversation with somebody and the conversation lacks substance because all this person is talking about and reflecting on is what they saw on social media. You can tell that they have watched certain people, or it's just like they have been brainwashed by other people's thoughts and opinions. And it's kind of, actually, it's weird and it's crazy. That's why I always come and try to tell y'all that it's important to take social media breaks and just kind of live your own life and do your own thing. This is why y'all haven't really been seeing me posting as much, because I really do feel like I take this type of stuff serious. Taking a break from social media, that's a part of self-care. That's a part of your mental health too as well. Just kind of taking a step back and living in your reality, living in your real life. Social media is not, it's a part of your life, but it's not your entire world. I think we really need to just get back to living like how we used to do back then, where social media was not the main focal point of our lives, and it wasn't our end all be all, so to speak. That's how it is these days. Social media seems to be the end all be all for people, and they have kind of stepped away. You can have conversations with people and be around certain people, and you can see that they have kind of lost their sense of direction because they have been brainwashed by social media. And if you look on social media these days, you see all the fakeness, all the AI, artificial intelligence. Just take that in for a minute. Fake intelligence. It's not real There's no sort of substance or intelligence in depth to people anymore. It's artificial, it's fake. That's why you see certain people out here, when you're having a conversation with them, it seems as though things have been regurgitated and repeated over and over and over and over and over. And I know I cannot be the only one to think like this. You know how you just feel like you're not connected with this world. And most people, I'm not gonna say all people, most people, because their way of thinking, their logic is social media. Every time I get on social media, it's the same thing day in and day out. The same conversations being had, the same thing being regurgitated and repeated over and over and over and over. And I'm just like, oh Lord. Sometimes I feel like the Twilight Zone, like for real. And you just kind of like, you just sitting back trying to figure things out. You just like, what's really going on out here in this world? People are making social media their reality. All this AI, this fake stuff that's on social media, they're making this real. Real is fake and fake is real these days. I don't know how I can word this, how I can put this mental picture in y'all, man, but y'all know how y'all ever seen them movies to where they have duplicates of people. These duplicates, it's weird and it's scary. Them certain points in the movie to where they go into a lab and they take bits and pieces of this person's personality, their mannerisms, their individuality, just everything about them, and they try to cook something up in a machine, and you can see that they're slowly but surely creating this clone copycat version of the real person. And the minute they get done operating on this person and they come out of the lab, that's what it is with today's society. This is a lab we in, a science lab. People being worked on, they mental being worked on, they being brainwashed by certain things out here. You know what I'm saying? They have no logic way of thinking. They are not thinking rationally these days. They are sounding like clone copycat versions of somebody. They sound like people that have been programmed and operated on in a science lab. It's weird. You look at certain people and they're just repeating the same thing. It's just like, it's robotic in a sense. Like I said, it's weird and it's scary. And I probably sounding off to a lot of y'all, but I know a lot of y'all catching what I'm saying. Like, it's a lot of weird things that are going on out here in this world. It don't make sense. And just like I say, when you trying to have a real connection with people these days, it's just like nothing is clicking and connecting with most people. You know, it's just like you are having a conversation with a robot, or like I said, clone copycat version of somebody else, and you feel out of place. You know what I'm saying? You know that this is not normal. You know that you are very much saying that you are normal, but the way that the world is operating, you being your real authentic self, it feels out of place sometimes. You know, I feel like if it wasn't for social media, it wouldn't be this way. But you're just gonna come across some people out here in this world that they're gonna be triggered by the real, true you, because operating your individuality, being your real, authentic self these days is often frowned upon. All this fake, fraudulent stuff, it's gonna fade out eventually. People are gonna have to come back to their real selves. It's only so long that this fake AI, artificial, clone, robotic society is gonna last. This ain't gonna last for too long, okay? I hope it don't. You know how you ever be around certain people and you just be feeling out of place. Like, it just seems like majority of the people have the same thought process. And you just be sitting up there looking at them like, you know how you be having a conversation with somebody. I'm a conversationalist. I love a good conversation, and I like hearing difference of opinions. I like hearing people's thoughts. I like hearing people real self. I don't want to hear this other person's opinion. What do you think? Who are you? Where's your man at? It's just like there's no connect there. There's no depth there. And even when it comes to having an intellectual conversation or regular convo. It's kind of like you can see the struggle where they can't even formulate a thought and opinion of their own. It be seeming like they lost mentally. It's sad. You can't see that they man has been programmed and brainwashed to other people's thoughts and opinions. They're going to this whole spiel about what they saw on social media and how they relate to it and how they agree, stuff like that. It's just like, what do you think? If we didn't have social media and I was to run into you and have this conversation with you, would you say this? What would be your thoughts and your opinions on this matter? I don't want to hear what you've seen on social media. This is the real world right here. This moment. Would you have the same thought process and opinions if it wasn't for social media? Would you be comfortable being yourself? I'm sitting up here scratching my head right now. That's how it is. That's how it makes you wonder sometimes about people. The way this world's operating, it have you constantly scratching your head. Like, what do you think? Who are you? What is it that you don't love or embrace about yourself to where you don't feel comfortable operating in your authenticity and being yourself? Being yourself is weird to people these days. You're gonna be looked at funny. You're gonna be the odd one out. Being your real, true, authentic self, you will find people being triggered by you because you may not partake in certain things, you may not do certain things. Even when it comes to being on social media, you will notice how you will be somewhat of a social outcast because you don't want to talk about what everybody else is talking about. You don't want to learn this new TikTok dance or this new TikTok recipe. You don't want to engage in mindless chatter. You don't want to engage in conversations that don't have no sort of depth. Okay? And people will try to make it seem as though you think you better than them because you being your real self these days, and I'm just gonna be honest, I know y'all gonna agree with this. You being yourself these days, people will try to make it seem like you think you better than them because you being yourself and you ain't doing what everybody else is doing. You're not marching to the beat of this program robotic kind of society. If you don't agree with what's popular, you can't even have a thought and opinion of your own without being ridiculed these days or canceled or looked at funny. But people will be looking at you like it's something wrong with you when really it's something wrong with them, because we are living in a robotic clone kind of society. Social media has made it worse. Social media got so many people mentality messed up. Another thing I have noticed about this society, where even when it comes to the children feel like they know more than adults. They get on social media and they see certain things, this AI robotic clone kind of society, this regurgitated advice. They feel like they know the world. They feel like they know more than an adult. Am I the only one that see this? Kids out here don't know a lick about nothing. They don't got too many life experiences yet. They are still growing mentally. This isn't to discredit the intelligence, because there are some children out here that they got a head on their shoulder. They are going places. They're some of the wisest ones, okay? We ain't discrediting that, but I'm talking about these kids out here that feel like they know more. Like, they so caught up on social media that they really do feel like they know more than you. They will, even sometimes you will catch them to where they are trying to challenge what you say. Your thoughts and opinions are being questioned and challenged by this child. You tell them something and they come at you with a rebuttal. That's why I say social media is the devil's playground, literally. When it comes to the youth is in hot water out here when it comes to this influence, this social media. It's so many, and I'm not saying this to be mean or nothing. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, but it's so many lost souls out here, so many clueless people out here. They have a big platform and they're spewing off this influence and this toxicity to the world, and not only to the world, to our youth. And now the youth feel like they know something when they don't know nothing. They're regurgitating, repeating a whole bunch of mindless chatter that they heard online. And they want to come and try to question you and question your authority as an adult, sometimes even a parent. Like they know more than you. They can tell you something. And you even got the wicked influence out here where they're trying to pit the children against their parents. TikTok, okay? I will never download that app. Never. But the things that I be seeing on there, because they share TikTok videos throughout YouTube all the time and Facebook. And so you ain't really missing nothing. You don't really got to download the app. You see the toxicity and the dysfunction being spewed, and it's spreading like wildfire out here in the world to our youth. And what's even more disturbing is you got grown, able-bodied adults out here adapting this sort of mindset from TikTok, this manless chatter. You got grown adult, and see, this is the thing. I feel like we can all learn something from each other, okay? You can take something from a younger person and an older person. But why are you sitting up taking guidance and advice from a 19-year-old and you about 30 or 40 years old? Off of TikTok. They said it just because they said a few things that you resonated with, that does not mean that they really know what they're talking about. That don't mean that you got to go and emulate and copy this person's entire thought process because you agreed with them and you resonated on a few things. And it's sad when it's coming from the adults, because it's like you're supposed to be setting a blueprint for the youth out here. But you got the same mentality and the thought process of a youth. You taking guidance and advice from a 19-year-old when they still learning life. They got some experiences, but they don't have enough life experiences to teach you anything. It does not matter what you resonate with him about. You are supposed to be setting the blueprint for them. But you looking up to them. You copying, you emulate them. You really just sit back and think on certain things, like they trying to pit these children against us. Okay? They got toxic influence. I be watching certain things, and you know how they had the reels for like 2 or 3 minutes, right? I be watching certain things. They be having, people coming on there talking about stuff like, oh, I made a video a while back about how people overuse the word narcissist, and I still think that today people like to throw that term on any and everybody, and the word is overrated. People just throwing terms and stuff out there because it's popular. And then that's another thing too. People be out here just saying stuff that sometimes they don't even be knowing what they be talking about. Not necessarily they don't know the meaning to it, but they don't know the context behind it. They just saying it because, like I said, they heard it on social media and it's popular. Brainwash programming. Not having a thought in a man of your own is a dangerous thing. And I'm coming in, I'm being real with y'all this morning. Not having a thought and an opinion, having a man of your own is a dangerous thing out here in these times. If you can be man controlled, that's dangerous. Somebody can't come and have a 5-minute conversation with you without you regurgitating and repeating some stuff that you saw for social media. That's a problem. That's a problem. You can't have an in-depth, thought-provoking conversation with somebody. Something to where you can just walk away from that conversation and be like, man, I learned something. That person really just got me thinking. Like, no, you walk away with nothing. You know how you have an empty conversation with somebody? Like, it's really nothing that you got up out of it. Being your real self triggers their demons. And you be noticing this with people. Even out in, and see, this is the thing. This is why I love getting out in the world and living my life and not making social media my entire world. Because when you really get out here in this world and you interact with people on a one-on-one personal level, no phones, no technology, none of that, you will find that you will have the real authentic connections with people. Y'all get to talking about stuff that from way back then, y'all get to talking about the most simplest things in life. No ties to social media, okay? Let's just have a conversation. Let's chop it up. Let's just enjoy this moment. Let's enjoy this life. No technology involved. Let's enjoy each other's company. Let's have a conversation. Conversations are not even real anymore these days. Everything is fake. Everything is forced. Everything is regurgitated. Everything is copied. Copying someone else's thoughts and opinions. That's weird. I would never be on board with nothing like that. I know that you can listen to people or you can really take something from them. It's different than just, oh yeah, I'm feeling what this person's saying. They made some great points. But when you turn around and you can't even come up with a thought and opinion of your own, you gotta reflect on what this other person said, and then you catch yourself repeating what they said. That's brainwashing. That's programming. And you can tell that certain people, it's another thing too you will notice about having conversations with people where you can tell that they wanted to say their real opinion, but because these opinions are popular, they gonna say that. They gonna ride with that. And you could tell when somebody wanted to say something other than that. They'll catch themselves. But because this is popular and they feel like it's gonna get them to, I don't know, some sort of favor or one up in the conversation, they gonna say what's popular besides what they really think about the situation, because they don't want to be quote unquote put on the spot. They don't want to be judged. They don't want to be looked at as being weird or different. Oh, what made her say that? And why she had to say that? Like, why she just couldn't? Come on now. You ain't always got to be different. Just go along with what everybody else do. You just got to fit and conform. You just got to go with the flow, what everyone else is doing. You ain't got to go all out of your way to try to prove that you are different from other people. And you ain't trying to prove that you different from nobody. You just being who you are. And that's how people act these days. It's like when you just out here being yourself, people are trying to make it seem as though you doing too much. Like you trying too hard to be different. When all you doing is being yourself. Like I said, the title of the video. The true you, your true self, irritates their demons. You will rarely come across people to where they are really being their real, true, authentic selves. Meaning, they have thoughts and opinions of their own, regardless of what people are going to say or think. Okay? I gotta take a moment of silence for that one, because it really just got you to see. This is things that you really sit back and think about. Like, why does it seem as though nobody is comfortable being themselves these days? It's so weird. It's weird. And then when you see people coming and being their real authentic selves, you see other people trying to bite and copy up off of this person. What is it about yourself that you hate so much, that you dislike, where you are uncomfortable being yourself? What gain are you going to get off of copying someone else? And promise y'all, because y'all know I made a video a while back where I had to call out a certain person about them stealing, copying my content. I'm not talking to that person. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking generally right now, because this is something that I know I'm not the only person that feel like this. But why is it that people are uncomfortable being themselves? I'm telling you, these moments is something to where you really just gotta take a pause, take a moment of silence, and really just take that in. Like, what do you think? What? And this is the thing about being yourself, to where it triggers their demons. Because I was really just reflecting on this situation, because, you know, I know from my content creators that's listening in on this video, so where if you have had your content stolen a few times, or and this person copying you, first of all, that stuff is weird. But it's just so crazy how people be trying to feel like, how people think they can really pull off trying to be you. And see, this is a thing. Let me just say this, because people out here, they be trying to ignore this whole thing where they'll say something like, oh, girl, you ain't that important. Who trying to copy you? Nobody trying to copy off of you. Maybe this person just got the same thoughts and opinions. Maybe y'all just got the same viewpoints. No, it's a difference between having similar viewpoints and outright copying people verbatim. Everything that they say, you say. It's just like a robot, like I said in the beginning of the video, robotic clone cannon energy. You ever seen the person try to copy off you, be exactly like you? Copying your mannerisms, the way that you talk, the way that you laugh. They doing certain things that it just look weird. Like, why are you trying to be like me? That's weird. That's weird. I just thought about this one video from a long time ago. Now, remember the video I made a while back about witchcraft and music, where I talked about drill music. I talked about how drill music is demonic. I never forget, it was this drill video that I seen a long time ago, y'all. It was this white boy, and this boy, they don't know lick about trap music, drill music, that type of lifestyle. Like, you can clearly tell that he did not grow up that way. Like, he knows nothing about that, but he trying to adapt these mannerisms. It didn't fit him. That's the point I'm really trying to make. Like, when it comes to this clone robotic kind of society we living in right now, like, you can tell when someone is not operating in their individuality, they're not being their authentic self. It does not fit them. You can look at a person, you can tell that they're not being their real self. That white boy was in that drill video, y'all. I'm saying that stuff was so funny, but he had the he was rapping. It just like, he had the guns in his hand and everything. It just the whole setup, it just did not fit him at all. Like, he looked like a straight up suburban white boy trying to embody this hood ninja mentality. This whole attire, it was just, it, like I said, it did not fit. And that's how it is these days. Even when it comes to having conversations with people, that you can tell that they are not connected on a deep in-depth level. You are not connected with them because they are not comfortable being themselves. Hopefully y'all catch what I'm saying. Just going back to what I said about the youth. You know how you ever had this conversation with, it could be either your child or another child, a younger sibling, okay? They sit up having a conversation with you, and they really do be sitting up talking like they think they making sense. And I just be looking like, did you get that off of social media? Because it don't sound right. It don't even sound like the child. The social media is bad for children, okay? Let's just say that. This is a thing about children feeling like they know more than you. They try to quote unquote challenge your authority or give you a rebuttal. Imagine you they parent, you they older sibling, and they're supposed to give you respect. They be calling themselves trying to put you in your place and check you with some regurgitated advice that they get off of social media. It be sounding straight up foolish. Okay? Okay? Like I said, social media is the devil's playground. The devil got his hands on the youth when it comes to this wicked influence on social media. They be trying to question their parents' authority. They be trying to go against their parents. What they say, they feel like they know more than their parents. It's crazy. It's wild out here these days, y'all. It's wild. All the way around the board. You got grown folks out here that's way up in age. They don't have thoughts and opinions of their own. They don't know how to carry a civilized conversation with another person. A normal, regular conversation without repeating and regurgitating someone else's thoughts and opinions. Being your true self triggers their demons. This video is triggering to somebody. I already know. She thinks she knows it. She always trying to say something. Like, she always trying to be different. And some people may come and say, I ain't nothing different about you. You just like everybody else. And I know this gonna probably mess y'all head up, but y'all know that movie Get Out, right? And I promise y'all, I'm finna make a point with this. When it comes to this clone copycat version, people trying to copy and act like other people, even think like them, it kind of puts you in the man to Get Out. Because When they did the hypnosis on those people, and they basically switched bodies, they switched brains with other people. The person was literally, they was there in the flesh as their physical self, but they had the brain of someone else. When they talk, there was no soul there. And that's another thing too I be seeing, like soulless people, where when you talk to them, you're looking at them, it's like it's a robotic clone version of them. Just like the movie Get Out. They're literally trying to steal and copy your individuality. It feels as though they have took your brain up out of your head and tried to put it in theirs. See, you don't want to get that deep. That's too deep. But the world we are living in today, it's like the movie Get Out. But yeah, that's just all I want to talk about with y'all this morning. Being your true authentic self irritates their demons. You will be challenged by these clones and these copycats out here, because they feel like they can copy and pull off certain things, and they can be able to, basically, the way I'm gonna end this message is, they feel like they can be you better than you. Y'all get what I'm saying? In the movies where they went and they cooked up this clone copycat version of this other person, you will see the person throughout the movie. They going over and beyond and extra. They trying to outdo the person, the real person. Basically, this person has created a monster. Social media, the programming, society, the wicked influence has created a monster of clones and copycats out here. They're the ones that are taking people's minds into a science lab and misconstruing it and confusing it and put this in there, put that in there. Yeah, maybe you can take a little bit of this person and take a little bit of that person, and you can be whoever you want to be. You don't have to be yourself. That's the sort of world we living in today, where people feel like they can be you better than you. For the ones out here that's going through this, being you is the key, okay? Being your real authenticity. Y'all know that song, you got the key to the streets, okay? Being your real true authentic self is the key to the streets. That's the realty. Being your real true authentic self is the way to go these days. Never get uncomfortable being yourself. It does not matter what's going on out here in this world. It does not matter how many people are trying to be like the next person, or it seems like everybody is just going in this direction, and you may feel compelled to go in that direction. To keep continuing to be you and do your own thing. To be quite honest, you are setting the trend for a lot of people out here too. Y'all know them songs we used to hear back in the day, them old gems, they remade it in a rap song. These rappers, these R&B singers can't even sample certain songs without giving the original person the credit. Nobody wants to give credit these days either. Cite your sources, okay? It takes nothing away from you to give a person a credit. A perfect example, the SZA and Kendrick Lamar song, Luther. They remixed that song. It was a hot single, but they gave Luther Vandross his credit for that song. If This World Was Mad. If This World Was Mad. They gave the credit throughout the entire song. They didn't try to take it as their own. Okay? You hear all type of old school, all type of reminiscent memories within that song. You gonna know Luther made that song when you hear it. Okay? It don't matter how much you put your spin on it. That's still his song. But the respect was given. The credit was given. I'm so inspired by you that I want to sample this song. I want to rap to this song. I want to sing to this song. I want to dance to this song. I want to bring this into the modern generation for our people. I'm going to give you your flowers. Okay? Being your real authentic self triggers their demons. And they could take and copy from you all they want and try to make a replica of you all they want. Like, you will always be the original one. So yeah, that's just how I'm going to end the message, yeah. Being your real authentic self triggers their demons, but continue to be who you are. So hopefully I got something for this video. Hopefully it helped you in some way. Continue to protect y'all soul and spirit. And I will talk to y'all in the next video.